Here we go. That's the tricky part. Always coming in between videos and not pushing it at the right time. This has to
That's
be
okay. That's
fine-tuned.
okay. No
Hi,
worries.
Sanj. Welcome in the
Hi.
studio of the third Global
Thank
Empowerment
you.
Hub, second weekend, personal growth and digital wealth. Exciting
Woohoo.
topics. And I'm
Hmm.
so happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Before
Thank you
we
so much.
start, let's warm up. So who you
Sure,
are,
sure.
introduce yourself, and then let's
Yes.
get the people know you.
Okay. Okay. My name is Sajnaya. I don't know how to actually describe myself because usually you introduce yourself as the work that you do or the role that you play. But I'm in an interesting situation in life where I've actually taken a sabbatical from actually a career or work to try and explore a little bit more, something a bit to try and find something that's a bit more meaningful and impactful that I want to pursue as a career rather than just going through the process of increasing my salary and going up the ranks. So I've taken this year off to really try and explore some of my interests and see if I can formulate a way where my interests can align with some way that I can make impact in the world or be useful to other people. And so that's the current stage of the journey. I've been on it for about a year. I'm looking to extend it one more year if I can and try and start formulating. I was just sharing with Andrea before we started as well, like trying to formulate something that, I feel a bit more meaningful with the day-to-day work that I do rather than struggling and working hard for somebody else or for a big paycheck when you don't have the time to spend it. So I guess that's a quick nutshell. I guess you can say. Anything else you wanted to ask?
Yes, I would love to ask like a little bit more about where are you from, because we are in front of a global audience. So where are you
Ah,
from? What's your roots? Tell us a little bit about your personal life.
Personally. Okay,
Okay,
who am
not
I?
everything.
Okay, I'm currently living in Malaysia. I call myself a Malaysian national. And Malaysia, for those who don't know, is a very multicultural country. So there's a lot of different types of people. And my ethnic background comes from Sri Lanka. So I'm Sinhalese by ethnicity. My granddad, from my dad's side, migrated here. So from that side, I'm third generation Malaysian because my dad was here, then me. But I like to call what my mom is. She's a direct import from Sri Lanka as well. So my dad came through my grandfather, but then through travels and going back to the motherland, met my mom and my mom's. So I'm fully Sinhalese, but I'm Malaysian by nationality. I pretty much lived in Malaysia most of my life. But I've traveled quite a bit and I've lived in Sri Lanka for a while as well, getting back to my roots a couple of years ago. And it's interesting, a very, very, how to say, I appreciate and acknowledge my culture and my heritage, and I like some of the cultural stuff, but of course, understand that people are different. All sorts of people coming together is way more important than just identifying with where my roots are from.
I love it. I love it. You know, I
Yeah.
was hunting for Sri Lankan cinnamon and I couldn't find it. And it turned out that there is a shortage on Sri Lankan cinnamon
Yeah,
in the shops
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. It's very true. I have some extra if you want. I'll name your price and I'll share some with
I
you.
will definitely get some, because I was going to the shop and the guy was telling to me, I just accidentally bumped into someone who's working in this supermarket opposite me. And I was telling him I need some cinnamon. And then he was like, we don't have, there's no delivery. And then he was like, but I'm from Sri Lanka, I can give you.
Oh,
So I was like, how do you
yeah.
want to give it to me?
Yeah,
So
Sri
yes.
Lanka is known for cinnamon and pepper as well. Sri Lankan pepper is also very unique, and cashews is another nice thing from Sri Lanka.
I didn't know about cashews, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice. Exploring the spices in Southeast Asia is something
Mhm,
that I really love to do. It's just an
mhm.
amazing quiz. But just talking with Anya about how expensive turmeric is and ginger in Europe, and it's kind of
Mhm.
like very affordable here in Malaysia.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
very cheap.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
aside from the food, we also connected because we are both dancing for a long time, and
Mhm,
you are
mhm,
kind of taking over or just replacing someone who has been doing the dancing scene in a specific dance like Zumba, and you are doing this for a long time. And we connected because I have a methodology based on dancing already for the dancing economists and Dare to Dance Your Way and so on. So I believe that dancers and artists are incorruptible and that can help people to grow. Um, when you don't have anything that can influence yourself and you have enough strong core, and you are exploring this part of life, and you are exploring how people are better because they are starting to dance, or how you can help them with the moves and all this. So I would love to explore your thoughts on it, and I would love to explore your topic, which today is
Mhm.
look within to see beyond, which
Mhm.
is a topic that I think it's nice, but I need you to explain a little bit more. What do you mean behind, and what is that
Okay.
work that people need to do?
Yes. Most definitely, yeah. Actually, first question, Andrea, if I'm asking you, when you see that phrase or when you read that phrase or that quote, what comes to your mind? What does it mean to you? If you could relate to that.
Well, it definitely reminds me of my first 2 years in Malaysia when I was totally lost and I had to do this self exploration again. What will I do with my life after moving to 9,000 kilometers away from home? And I had to restart and see what exactly I want to do and how I want to do it. So, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely that one.
Well, that's pretty much it. So for me, it was, I mean, this quote has lived with me for over a long time, since my I would say my early adulthood or getting into adulthood to now. It's gone through its changes and meanings behind it and what it means to me at different stages in my life. But the way it started was in my young adult life when I was trying to challenge norms and beliefs or things that have been taught to us and trying to formulate my own ideas, and you get pulled in all different areas. You hear this inspiring speaker say this and that person saying that. Yes, it sounds similar, but it's like all over the place, and you're trying to see which one you can believe in. What came to me, or was this quote, was the grounding, how to say, vessel behind all these influences and inspiration as I explored what my own belief system is. And what I found was, yes, you can get inspiration. You need to go and seek out knowledge out there. But end of the day, for me at least, I found is I came home and I sit down long enough and really ask myself the question that I was asking about what I was trying to explore. More likely that the answer that's right for me will come.
Mhm,
Rather than me trying to, oh, I want to believe this person and I want to follow that person. Yes, you get the influence from there, but then eventually after time, actually, there's a second part to this quote. It's look within to see beyond. All the answers you seek in life are within you. So,
mhm,
just say again that if you spend long enough just sitting and asking yourself the question, whatever you're seeking, you are most likely to find the answer. So it was a way for me to cope with the fact that, oh, I don't know what's right, what's wrong. It's like, okay, sit with myself, and you will usually find the answer. If not, you will know where to go look for the answer, the next step. You will get the motivation for it. So that's how it started. And then it evolved to this thing whereby I started to realize there's a difference between education and learning. I don't know if that resonates to you as well, Andrea. But for me, like, education is gathering knowledge and facts and information, versus learning is really trying to understand it, apply it, and think about it. So there is no learning if you can't really apply what the knowledge that you've gathered. So for me, again, this is how that quote, look within, is like when you have to understand something a lot deeper in order to be able to apply it, to be successful, or to be able to use it. You have to really start looking at it much deeper than just the surface level. It's not good enough just to know about it, but to really understand it is a great practice of, again, looking within to see beyond, because you got to go into layers within yourself, asking the questions and whatever that is that you're studying, or whatever you're trying to learn. Yeah, so that was the second. Does that make sense to you, or do you resonate with that as well?
no, no, no. It's really like that's why we connected, I think, and that's why we are exploring this merging of thoughts, and it's very inspiring to work with you because I see the curiosity, I see the
Mhm.
questions, and that's I really appreciate in everyone, and I'm also helping people to find this out, right?
Yeah.
To 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 feel that urge of curiosity and to
Mhm.
explore it for yourself will give you much more transformation than listening to hundreds of coach, hundreds of people that you have here or there, because what just you said, that learning is about not just having a library. Like I could related to that. You don't just have
Yeah.
to have a library. Let's say, we can say it out loud, you have Google, right? So you can go there
Yeah.
and check it out, or you can go to your local library, you can read books. But it's not enough for having a successful
Enough.
life, because you
Yeah.
still have to relate it yourself. And I never
Yeah.
understood, like, when you go to a dietitian, then they say that every diet is personal. Every diet is depending on the different person's lifestyle,
Yeah.
health
Yeah.
issues, and all this. So it has to be
Yeah.
personalized. So when it's about coaching, you cannot templatize, and you cannot say that's for everyone. You have to
Right.
apply it for yourself and find it out how it works for you, and apply those parts which are working for you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, exactly right. So that was for me, because maybe I was going through a phase in life where, thinking like education, I haven't studied that much and stuff like and then, like, I don't know enough. But then I realized some of the people that I respected and admired in life were not people who were that educated, but what little they did know, they really applied it. Not to say that they were even specialists in their jobs, but they just knew how little things that they learned over life to actually really apply it, rather than just be knowledge for them. And so that's where I saw that correlation. And so moving on from that, in today, or what the latest evolution of that whole phrase is. So again, I just started off by introducing, saying I'm on a sabbatical, trying to explore and understand a little bit better. And what I realized is I would like to explore introspection, looking within, in areas that I think will add a better experience of life for me and for others. You're just asking that question, like, what do I want out of life? Experiencing a better life. And I realized, for me, being introspective, because because of this quote again, is key. And be introspective in a couple of areas which I think will give me a better enjoyment of life. So for me, those two main areas that I'm exploring currently as a subject matter, one is communication. I think we all need communication to speak, but really, do people look at people don't really learn. I feel that there's a way to teach or share with people that there is a way to learn how to speak that is not based on your role or title. So, for example, you might go into sales and learn how to be a salesperson, which is communication. You might go into customer service and learn how to be a customer service agent. But I think communication is applied to everybody, and it shouldn't be something that you just were brought up with, but actually objectively learn that there's a way whereby one of the first misconceptions is, maybe I'll ask you this question as well, Andrea. What do you think is the most important thing of communication?
Tricky question. You're asking a dancer.
Yeah.
then it comes out,
But
and
it
for
applies.
me, it's
So anyway,
interaction. Like, without words, I think the most important thing for me in communication, and what I have learned, it's not about the words. It's not about how you tell the person what are you up to. It's more how you show it, how you act on it, and how you interpret your intention towards the other person. So I think
yeah.
that's the thing that is very important to tell here, that it's when you come together, and we talked about this, when you have two dancers coming together on the dance floor for the first time, especially in social dancing, you can dance with anyone. You don't know who they are, right? You cannot start with, hey, I'm this person, nice to meet you, let's introduce myself, I'm like this and this, and I'm doing this and this. No, you go to the person, you start with the connection of the body, and then from the connection of the body and seeing each other's intentions and letting each other express yourself, you will get to know already the person. And then from there you move on, and then you can start your conversation, which is jumping to the trust phase immediately from the getting to know someone phase, right?
Exactly. And so the way that I've encapsulated what you just described for myself is the first step, which I think, it was epiphany for when I learned it as well, was the first step of communication is not how you speak and articulate, but actually how you listen. So in dance, it's the same thing. Are you listening to your partner? Are you listening to the music before you even start trying to express yourself? And so in life, in talking as well, I feel like I had to learn this. The first step is listening. And it's so important for people to understand that, listen. So, but even if I want to selfishly get whatever I want out of somebody else, if I can listen to how they are, who they are, how they behave, I can then articulate my message to them in a way that they will be more responsive to, versus me just saying exactly however I want to. So for me, that's one element. Again, listening there is important. And then also when it comes to listening, it's like the other question that was like really for me to be more introspective is, who do you think is the person that you speak to the most? Who actually, the question is, who do you speak to the most?
Myself.
Exactly. And how often do we pay attention to the voice in our head, the person that we speak to the most, you know? And I found out for myself again, like, man, I really have to pay attention to what I'm telling myself every day, the voice that I have when I wake up in the morning. And for me, again, when it comes to communication, it starts with listening to that voice first. And then from there, you can influence and adapt and create a great communication environment for yourself to get what you want. So I'm not an expert in this. That's why I've taken the sabbatical to learn and learn about this, and also share whatever I learn to other people. And that's one of those skills of introspection that I'm looking at right now. And then the other one is body awareness. It goes kind of back to listening again as well. But from my as you alluded to, I've been passionate about a dance called Kizomba that comes from Angola, Africa, which is a social partner dance, where it's this dance where two people from it's there or a lot of different other dances as well, but it's a social partner dance where two people from opposite ends of the world who have never met before can come together and you can freestyle dance together without ever having said a word to each other. And for me, that was so fascinating. So it started with the curiosity of that dance. But what I've learned is, now that I've gotten so interested in learning this dance, I'm using this dance as a vehicle to learn this thing called body awareness, because I also think that one of the things ideas that I'm working on is, as much as health and fitness is important to having a great life, I think I believe that everybody should have, this is going to be a bit of a tongue twister, a practice that the practice of practicing to get better at it is the reward in itself. So what I mean is, if I enjoy painting, like, everybody should find something, like if it's for me painting, that every day I'm thinking how to get better at drawing the color, mixing colors, and doing all the things to become a better painter, not because I want to be the best painter in the world or because I want to be famous or make a lot of money, but just the act of me trying to problem solve how to be a better painter is so important and fundamental to having a really enjoyable life, I feel. And then with that, the other thing for me I realize is, what better subject matter to have a practice on than your own body. I mean, whether you are a dancer or you're an active person, or you sit behind the computer and you just love to code, there's a way to be in your body, to understand your body. What's the best postures for me to perform what I like to do? If I like to code 24 hours, it might seem like I don't use my body a lot, but no, where your hand positions are, the way you sit and stand, it's so important. So for me, the third thing is exploring and sharing with people the journey that I'm going through, whereby really understanding, like in dance, you got to learn how to stand properly, be stable, be control of your body. How do you breathe? All these things that help me along the process of becoming a better dancer, I feel are things that I want to share with people, whether they're just doing a 9 to 5 in a corporate job, because I see there's a value to enrich your life by doing this introspective exercise through learning, understanding your body. And then, what I found for myself is, whenever I'm free, or whenever my mind goes wild with all the negative thoughts or the worries, if I just think about, okay, what is it I needed to practice about this dance to get better? Suddenly I don't have that much time space to sit there and think about all these worries and troubles. And I'm using my time, and I don't need to go anywhere, because all the practice that I do, yes, I dance with a partner, but all the practice I need to do, I actually have to do it by myself at home. So I don't need any equipment. It's just me and my body. So what a great way for me to be able to, I found like this is so important for people to find it. I'm not saying everyone should dance kizomba. Maybe for some people it's jujitsu. Jujitsu does the same thing, right? Learning how to do your locks and your grapples better. Or for some people it could be yoga. But any sort of movement activity where the joy of just learning how to be better at it is the reward in itself. And that should be a practice as much as brushing your teeth every morning.
Yeah, I think we relate on this very well, and I think that's something that we encourage throughout our careers, throughout the life. That body first. If you don't have your body, if you don't have a healthy body, if you don't take care about it, you cannot really have anything. So we can talk about business plans, strategies, life plans, big, hairy, audacious goals, but if we don't have the body to support us, and we don't have the energy, and we are not aware of what's happening, then you cannot do anything, right? So
Exactly right.
that's where it starts. Body awareness
Mm-hmm.
is the first thing, and once you are aware of your body, you can start and go and talk about mindfulness. Then you can start and talk about anything in your business and anything
Yeah.
about your life, because you cannot really assess yourself if you don't learn awareness. And the body, our body, is the best tool to
Best
practice
tool. Yeah.
awareness, right?
Practice it.
Because when
Exactly.
you tell someone, I did this at my coaching session, that I tell someone, okay, now you do stand in balance, now you stand straight, right? And then you feel this is balance, and then you are imbalanced and you try it out, you already can relate. Okay, now you're aware of what the two thing is, you're aware of the definition. Let's go further. Okay, in your life it feels the same. You feel insecure when you are in imbalance, and you feel
Balance.
secure
Exactly.
when you are strong. So it's
Exactly.
easy and the most basic natural instinct and the natural way of understanding ourselves, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, for me, like I had this. I mean, I've understood this, but recently, there was a situation, a conversation I had that really formulated this idea for me, and I think I shared this with you as well. I mean, I'm not here. I'm nobody to tell how what's a life should live, right? Some people might just want to live a very casual life. Some people might want to, chase their dreams, build Tesla and Elon Musk. But end of the day, whatever we do, whatever those things that we pursue, it's either to enjoy this experience of life and to take care of the loved ones that we have, right? Our loved ones. And this experience of joy and excitement and pursuit and passion, all, we're doing things out to go and build that car, or create this or earn more of that money. It's all these external things that we're trying to accumulate for us to feel better internally, right? And so our feelings and emotions end and start at our fingertips, right? The experience of joy is in with our body. But why are we spending so much effort to try and accumulate things without actually looking at how can I improve heighten the senses? How can I feel joy better? How can I feel joy longer? How can I do the things that pay attention to what makes me joyful, versus trying to accumulate what everyone else tells you is good for your joy. So that for me was also quite mind blowing opening.
Yeah, yeah,
Again,
I
and
know.
also.
I'm really looking forward to what you are working on, and I see that you are so passionate about this. I mean, that's part of the thing why I love to work with you, because it just
Mhm.
shows that you are having this, what you are talking about, you are also walking the talk. So
Yeah.
exactly exploring for yourself and not being over influenced by other people telling you what to do or how to do and what they think. But I always see your thought coming, and okay, it comes on the top, and then you again, okay, I digest, and then it comes on the top. And I love this
Mhm.
process. I love to see that you don't let yourself be, as we said, corrupted, because that's how the world works today, that they want to brainwash people, they want to push their own things on other people, although
Mhm. Mhm.
the triggers are different for everyone, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you resonate with one coach, one mentor, but maybe you don't resonate with others.
Yeah.
Like you said, it can be martial art, or it can be dancing, or it can be
Yeah.
just running, or it
Yeah.
can be anything else.
Anything at all. Yeah, yeah. It's just like, yeah, I mean, again, not to say that, oh, going chasing the money and the big job and the big car and house is anything wrong with it. Please go for it. But understand, like, how long are you spending to try and achieve that house? And how much are you sacrificing your joy for that house? That are you then, when you have the house, are you enjoying the house? Are you sitting in it and experiencing the house and being able to live in it, versus just going after it, So yeah, I'm not saying do what I do. Find your own lane and your thing, but just pay attention to how your body is receiving all those emotions and joys. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and I like that. Who was it? I think Dr. Anjali was talking about this, that the goals that you create, it doesn't have to make you feel pressured. It doesn't have to make you feel bad. It has to make you feel fulfilled, and you are still enjoying it. So it doesn't have to be a huge thing and then you are pressured to do it right now. And then you feel like, oh, I'm missing out. I cannot make it. I'm behind my plan. It can be small things at once, like waking up, as you said, do some exercise, just sit down and feel your body on its own. Like, how does it feel to move your shoulders or turn your head, or does it ache, or simpler little things matter, right?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Like, yeah, yesterday, I've been dancing. I teach the dance, so I've been always active and moving around. But I felt a few days ago, like I haven't used the rest of my body. It felt like the rest of my body, even though I've been active and sweating like this, so I had to go for a swim, and I'm like, oh, actually, I have arms, I have limbs, so I had to feel again. Like, so I that made me realize as well. Yeah, there's a lot of times, you might be going after your goal of sitting and working on harder behind the computer, but your body is not, experiencing that at that time pretty at all well.
That's true. It's true. And then today, in this digital era, we really have to pay attention. I mean, me myself, I'm there, like making so many mistakes in the last 3 years, not moving enough, sitting here in the computer. But at the third year, I can say that, okay, now I have something under the table holding my leg up so that I'm not all the time like in the same position, and I have my blood flow. I have some water next to me. I'm experiencing how does it feel, and trying to go out, trying to move around, making some breaks. So for everyone out there, what would be your advice about keeping up a happy life and a healthy life, and exploring themselves and what's beyond, um, but also adapting to the new era of sitting in front of this computer, being pushed by all this noise around us, hearing all these things, what you should do, what we should start, what we must do. So how would you still that noise and get back to this look
I
within?
mean, I think we could probably talk for another 2 hours on all the different practices we do. But I think if I was to, with the topic of personal development and my look within to see beyond, I just implore people to ask themselves the question: how well do you know your body? Just start with that question. Do you know your body really well? And I'm not meaning like, okay, am I eating a healthy diet? Am I sleeping well? Yes, you should know. We all know we're already supposed to do that. But like really looking at how your hands feel, how do you sit? What's your posture? How does it feel when I slouch? How does it feel when I stay straight? So just start with the question of how well do I really know my body, and how well do I know to use my body
Pinch yourself.
in different. Yeah, pinch yourself. You'll be surprised what hurts you, what doesn't hurt you, what pain you can tolerate, what pain you can't tolerate. Like, I don't know. I don't think people really think about that enough, and I didn't. So just start with that question and see. Maybe it might take you somewhere where it's either dance, or maybe it's just a breathing exercise, something that we just introspective on being aware of your body, and see where that goes. I'll just say start with that.
Love it, Sanjaya, and it's always nice to
Yeah.
talk to you. And
Yep.
on the last note, because I see Dr. Paleo is already here in the
Okay.
studio, so I will bring her up. But before that, where could people reach you? What would be the main focus that you're focusing now? Why should they reach out to you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the main reason I think people should reach out to me is, I'll be honest, I'm still putting together these ideas in a way that I can share it better and be more palatable to people in different groups. But if you have similar thoughts, if you have similar ideas, please reach out. I want to brainstorm, collaborate. I'm looking to see how we can explore this together and look at how I can take this to more people that are not in dancing, like take it to corporate world and things like that. So if you have any ideas, I'm happy to share. And if you want me to learn more about my discoveries and how I teach dance, then you can reach out to me. Right now, I'm revamping my social media. So my Instagram is sanjaya.k. So that's SANJAYAK. And on LinkedIn, you can find me at Sanjaya Kumaraseri. So Sanjaya, SANJAYAKUMARASERI. So connect me with me there.
And
Thank you
if you
so
want to
much for your
dance, and if you want to
yeah.
dance and you are in KL, then you are in Origins Bangsa, right?
Yes, so dancing I teach every Tuesdays from with starting with a free intro at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays at a bar called Origins in Telawi Bangsa, and then we go all the way up to improver classes till 10:30. So come join us, have a taster, just come and see, check it out. You no pressure to start or to join the class right away. You can come and watch first and see how people social dance as well, and then when you feel comfortable enough, you can start joining the classes and the socials.
Thank you for this candid talk, and thank you for sharing your
My
thought-provoking,
pleasure.
thought-provoking insights. And happy to have you at the summit. Thank you so much for supporting. Have an awesome day, and
You
yeah, see
too.
you on the dance floor.
Thank you, Jay. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye. See you. So I'm switching speakers again. I see Dr. Yeo already here in the studio, so I will bring her up. Thank you so much, Sanj, for being here. And then I will just bring Dr. Yeo up. Hi, hello, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, the internet connection is a bit slow, so we'll wait until that solves itself.
Oops.
Yes, it's a little bit slow.
Yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
have to
It's
close other windows if you're
kind of like
working.
freezing.
Uh,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just leave the StreamYard open. I think that will help.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's see. Let's see what we can do. Otherwise, if it's keep doing this and you see yourself frozen in the screen, you can also try another source of internet, Wi-Fi, cable, anything that can help.
Mm.
So let's see. So we are changing the topic. Now we have Dr. Yeo Lee here, and I'm really happy to have her here. Her work is amazing, helping so many people. So let me just change the banner so you can get to know her a little bit more. And here we are. That's your topic. But before we jump into your topic, I would love you to share a little bit about yourselves and what you're doing right now. What's your focus? Where are you located?
Right. Yeah. Hi. I like to ask people to call me Paley, even though I have a title. But in the eyes of God, we are all the same. It's just a title. Yeah, can just call me Paley. I'm. I like to claim that I help people find their inner beauty. Yeah. I've been a mental health therapist for the longest time. To me, it's like the last 20 over years. As you said, yeah, it feels long. And I'm not just a therapist, I'm also an educator. So I've trained lots of people in this field as well. And I'm proud to say that. Yeah. And now moving forward, and just as our topic is VUCA world, what is this VUCA world? We are talking about very volatile, very uncertainty future. I myself right now is also at this junction where I think, because human we have to progress. So right now I think I'm at this juncture where I want to be a YouTuber. Putting up my
Ah,
content. Putting up my content, my experience out there. I was not in this space 20 years ago. 20 years ago is where the internet is beginning, and that's one of my regrets. If only I have right on that, I could be really there now. Yeah, earning millions.
yeah,
Yeah,
actually, that's something that entering this field, some people are really like afraid of entering the digital media, social media, YouTube channel, podcast videos, and all these kind of things. But
yeah,
like everyone says, it starts with starting at the moment when you feel it, because you never know. The market is moving so fast and there is so much noise that if you are first or if you are there early, like Gary V has this tactic: be there first and be active, and then you can get those medias and have a very huge followership. So good luck on this journey, and
yeah.
I'm
I'm going
looking
to write
forward.
on you.
I'm looking forward to watch you and your YouTube journey.
Thanks.
It's just so amazing, and I love your topic. I love that you are also managing your own journey at the same time, cutting out of the comfort zone and taking on new challenges in your life, because we are always evolving. So let's explore further your topic, managing stress in the VUCA world. And let's start with the definitions. We have been mentioning VUCA for a long time, but what exactly it is, and what can people understand when they see VUCA?
Yeah, right now, right now, having gone through COVID and we are still in that post-pandemic situation, that itself is already VUCA, very, very volatile. We really don't know what to expect the next day. And now we have this new Omicron coming in. Yeah, so it is so volatile and it's so uncertain. That's the so uncertain. Yeah, and if we don't pivot fast enough, if we don't change fast enough, I think we will be left behind. Or there will always be this fear that we live this life in, right? So C stands for complexity. Yes, it's very complex. We really don't know, especially 2 years ago, 2020, we really don't know what is this COVID about. Everyone are so in fear. Yeah, it feels very complex. How come, the hospital is like overflowing? Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's really just breaking it down. Yeah, and of course the A is about ambiguous. Everything is changing. Everything is so ambiguous. So knowing what is VUCA, yeah, we just have to break it down so that then we can handle this VUCA world. At the end, I like your previous presenter from the inside out. Yeah. So one of the things to really handle the volatile situation is to really have a vision and purpose for your life. Yeah, from volatile to vision. Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you look at me, even though everyone says I'm so busy, I do so many things, but at the end, I only boils down to probably three things. All the decision I make in life is always about counseling, right? It's always about educating others, and the other one is about my family. Yeah, so anything about family is always come first. Yeah, then if I have extra time, then I will do the other two. Of course, the counseling is where my bread and butter is. Yeah, so it's not too difficult to make that decision. Yeah, so yes, I may have 101 engagement, but it's always these three things. Yeah, so all the other
I
extra,
love this, how you put it together and you streamlined it into these three things. For me, it was also like, okay, have a profession, have a mission, and then have a passion. And then all these three, if I have it in my life, I'm already happy. So I dance, I do the Empowerment Hub, and I have my profession, which is always a little bit evolving according to the situation and how we upgrade ourselves. But these are if you have just three, it gives you such a big certainty already that you can always know what you say no to, what you say yes to, and what are things that you are involving yourself in, right?
Yes, that's exactly. There you go. You handle your C already. From uncertainty, there you get to know what you want. You find an understanding. Yeah. So in order to help us understand, from uncertainty, the U, to understanding. Once we know what we want, yeah, it's easy to make that decision, which is the C, the certainty. From complexity, we are so certain that what we want, and every decision is always revolve around that. Yeah. So when you talk about managing stress in the workout world, it's not so much to me about deep breathing, eat healthily, sleep, although those are important. Yeah, but I think the bigger picture is you need to know what you want. You need to know who you are. Yeah, what is your passion? Once you have a vision, usually it drives your passion. Yeah, things that you don't eat, you don't sleep, you feel so energized. Yeah, so those are the questions that all of us have to like search from the inside out. Yeah.
It's a great point to start with, but you have also a very special point and a very special insight on this, because you are working with people who are reaching out for help. So it's kind of like you have a very good position here, because for coaches and other people who are working with people searching for clients, searching for leads and all this, the people may not be in the stage when they are reaching out and ready to change. But whoever gets to you, most probably they are already there having a problem and they want to change, right?
Yeah. So that's why I hope to be a YouTuber, so that I can put my content out there, so that you don't have to reach me. Because when you're back already, unless you want to find more clarity, not so much of to resolve your past issue, your baggage, but to help you move forward and to be the best version of yourself. Ultimately, it's really to have that healthy mind. Once we have a healthy mind, the rest goes. you know.
I love the calling. I really understand. So let's just work on this title a little bit more, because I love to analyze things and love to explain people what does it really mean. So we start with the V, which is volatile, right?
Mm,
So how can it describe the volatile situation out there in the world?
mm,
And what are the things that people can do to
mm,
adapt to the volatility a bit faster?
Yeah. So you see, volatile means there's a lot of it's a rapid change. Yeah. Look at technology. Look at the handphone that you have. Especially young people. They just have to have the latest technology. It's like an addiction, really. Yeah. So we are living in a very volatile world, and volatile world is here to stay. So we really have to change ourselves to fit into this volatile world, this VUCA world, I would say, not just volatile, but it's volatile, it's uncertain, but it's uncertain, it's going to be so complex. Yeah, I mean, so complex, it's going to be so ambiguous. It's going to be, everything goes, or everything so unclear. Yeah. So again,
So the emphasis is on the rapid. So how can people adapt to rapid changes? What are the
mm,
ups and downs that people are going through? Because you are a person specialized
mm,
on understanding people.
yeah,
So how
yeah,
does it start with the stress, and how does it go up, and understand how does people first recognize that, okay, I'm in this rapid change, and it makes me stressed, and what do
mm,
I have to do to get over
yeah.
it faster?
Yeah. So back to, knowing your vision, that means you need to know yourself. Once you know yourself, you are so stable. The whole world can change. Yeah. But you are still so secure. Yeah. It's like, a storm where you know yourself, you are in the eyes of the storm, the middle of the storm. Yeah. You are so safe. You are so secure. Yeah. You just look around, just notice, the changes. And then if need be, you just shift a little bit. Yeah. And then to just fit into the wave, and then just move on. Yeah. So I think if you are young, depend on what stages of life you are. If you are like teenagers, you are still getting to know yourself, I would say maybe some objective personality assessment would be good. There's a lot of personality tests out there that finds help you understand who you are, what are your career interests. Yeah. Because at the end, we spend more time in our career than our family. Yeah. And we better love our career. It's as if, right, you are marrying to your career. Yeah. So you make sure you love your career. Yeah. Not just loving your spouse. Yeah. But you need to be able to love what you do. Yeah. So
And
that
it
comes
comes
with,
back it comes back to the family, the profession, and some passion.
yeah. Yes, yes, right. So if you are a young adult, if you are going through quarter life crisis, right, because you felt that you are so lost, this is not something that you thought you wanted to go into, but when you get into this profession, you are so disappointed. It doesn't meet your expectation, and now you are searching again. Yeah. So again, you may want to take a step back, do some self-evaluation. If you need help, then of course you can engage any coaches or any counselor. Yeah. But if you're in your midlife and you have got lots of failures and baggages that comes along with you, a lot of distress. Yeah. I think that's where, as a counselor, it's good to work through some of your trauma, and that's one of my expertise in to really help a person to unload their emotional baggage.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
once we unload the emotional baggage, it's easier, it feels lighter to move forward. Yeah. So it's not just unloading and then to repurpose again, to find back your meaning of living again.
It's like emptying your desktop. I was thinking about
Mm.
an example, but it's like putting everything from your desktop into the bin,
Yeah,
like
don't that's not
clearing.
relevant. Put in the bin, throw it away. Otherwise, store it nicely when you need it. Yeah, so all the bad experiences, we don't have to throw it away, but I would say we learn from it. Yeah, I think your earlier speaker also talked about education and learning. We need to learn, even from the worst experience that we have, it is a learning there. And I always like what Tony Robbins said, life do not happen to you, but life happened for you. And because this happened, this is who I am today. And it makes you who you are. It gives you that motivation, that push to find the best version of yourself.
Pushing yourself, and it's motivating you to be better or to be someone else or to work on these things. So until today, a lot of people were saying, okay, I'm afraid to fail. I am afraid to do this because once I failed in the past, and now I see it in everywhere that it's more about accept your failures. It's good to fail. You can still stand up. There are so many support groups and support system formulating. So it's
Yeah.
good to be in a world that is around communities and not being alone, right?
Yeah, so what you are saying here is a very classic example how we are held back from the past negative experience. So if it's your fear that is holding you back, probably there's a trauma there. So you may want to come and go for therapy to work through that fear and see what you can learn from that experience, so that that doesn't be your defining moment. Yeah, and then you miss another opportunity again. Yeah, I
Great.
like.
Let's go further with the VUCA and the second
Mm,
world,
mm,
which is
mm,
uncertainty. And
mm.
this has hit everyone in the last 2 years, and not
Yeah,
just the last 2 years, but I believe it will be the next 5 to 10 years because the recession is coming. There's so many things coming. And there will be a lot of uncertainty. So, how
mhm,
can someone be super strong and withstand
yeah.
uncertainty or deal with uncertainty?
Yeah, so to me, it's just about being curious, being always wondering what is happening, and then get yourself educated either through internet or get yourself into alternative news. I don't really go to the mainstream nowadays. I look for alternative news so that I get a balance, view, and then I make my own judgment. I make my own decision. Yeah. So again, the other thing about this being in the uncertainty not is to hold back judgment and learn to empathize with that situation or whoever the person is. One of the person, I think we are adult enough that I wish to counsel or wish to get to know is our ex-prime minister. I really wish to, know what is at the back of his mind, what is he thinking about? Yeah, because he always get blamed and he gets all the label that he is this, he is that, But I wonder what made a person, how was his childhood like? What made what made him to be who he is? Or maybe not just him. I think politician in general, because we always say, um, politicians are all liars or lawyers are liars. We have all these stereotypes. Yeah, so I really love to really be so curious to understand them. So for us,
It's a really interesting thing what you say about labels and then what the media is using and what people say about other
mm,
people, and that we should really look at the person at its
mm,
own without those labels, without those
yeah,
judgments, without the
yeah,
expectations, just the person as it is, and then see
yeah,
and understand why those things are coming and why they are doing those things. And once you understand, you will
yeah,
react differently and you will
right,
find somehow find a peace with it, and then you
yeah,
can grow from it, right?
yeah. Yes, so that's where the empathizing comes in, the empathy comes in, and we just have to be open mind with whatever information that you're getting. Yeah. So
Okay,
hearing both sides of the story, having your own evaluation, you decide how you want to see that person, how you want to live this world, and then whether it linked to your own life values. So that's very important for the uncertainty. Yeah.
you were saying change is the only constant in life. We cannot run
Mm,
away from uncertainties. Yeah,
that's
that's so
right.
true.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So just embrace chaos, embrace change. Change is the only certainty.
I love this, embrace chaos. That's a very very nice tagline,
Yeah.
embrace
And
chaos.
and you know what? To me, chaos is the one that brings color to life. Otherwise, it's so boring. I know some people they just like structure. You wake up at 9 o'clock. You shower and then you have your breakfast and then it's so routine. That's just not me. And you know what? When it comes to a lot of time when we talk about prioritizing stress management, the calendar will never works for me. So I always like to have open space for last minute
Mm.
activity or last minute intervention. So,
I
I
can
love.
totally resonate with this. I always try to do whatever. I have so many calendars, so many journals, a lot of kind of books, and I'm like, at the end, I'm ending up like improvising on the spot and figuring it out. And it works. It works for me because I'm
That's
not
right.
getting stressed about it. For some people, it's not working because they are getting stressed about it. So from the outside,
Mm,
it looks I'm super organized. But at the
yeah,
end, it's not like that. I'm just reacting on the things as they are happening with a happy,
yeah.
positive, I don't know, approach, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that story there is to help us find whatever that resonate with you, because there'll be 101 ways to manage your time, right? To manage stress, but you need to find what you got to try, test and try it out and see what resonate with you. So what seems to work for me is to have a to-do list, not fitting in. Okay, I must do this at 7 o'clock. I must do this at 10 o'clock. That will never works for me.
Yeah, for some people, it's. I have to tell you that I know people who are really taking this seriously, and their calendar is their like Bible, and they're going there, and then okay, 9 I go this 5 a.m. I'm already up. I'm doing my workout, and then
Mm,
blah 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 blah. Everything is just like this. But I
yeah,
believe like everything, it's all personal. We were talking about this, that it's everyone is different, and
yeah,
something
that's right.
works for someone and something doesn't for another one, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. So true. So true. Yeah.
So let's go to the certainty and
Mm.
the third word that is here,
Complex. Yeah.
and the complexity, because complexity is something that makes the biggest and most difficult part to understand
Mm,
things
mm, mm,
for what they are instead of
mm,
reacting very fast. So how would you say
mm,
complexity and understanding complexity can help people to have a more fulfilled life?
Okay. So just we have to learn to be creative in order to understand complexity. Yeah, things are not structured. Yeah. So when I see my client, maybe this person coming with depression. So I don't treat her depression. What I want is to help me understand how did she get depression. And
Mhm.
who we are today is an impact of our family, our society, the choices we make, the education we receive. So all these things, I want to look at the big picture. Yeah. So in terms of understanding complexity, to live in this complex world, is to again get yourself educated, get yourself curious, get yourself exposed, and be open minded about the information that you're getting, and then you decide. But I do understand it's sometimes we are overwhelmed with information out there, especially social media. There's so many fake news out there. You don't know which
Mm.
one to believe, so you really need to know which are the trusted website, or even like some of us, we have got gurus. Yeah, in life I think it's good to have mentors. Yeah, so then some of us will just follow the mentors.
And you mentioned something very important about expose yourself and then
Mm,
accept what is coming. So that means that try to learn to deal with those things that are coming, because
mm,
social media, it's a free
mm,
media. It's something that everyone can. I'm blocking continuously comments coming up from people who try to put very bad comments here because that's a robot or something popping up and advertising something. But some
mm,
people don't have this awareness, and they
mm.
get those blames, they get those comments, and then they get into depression. So how
Yes.
would you tell people to deal with this part of the open world, the ambiguous world,
Mm,
the changing world, and all this free coming
mm.
flow information and expressing ourselves as we are?
Yeah, this question I've been also like thinking through myself. One of the reasons why I'm not putting myself out there, earlier, is because I don't want all this negative comment, all this negativity. Yeah, so it's like one of the breakthrough now, as I'm slowly maturing, and then realizing and believe in what I have, like the content that I have, and I know I cannot please everybody. There will be critic. So what? So that's how I tell myself, and I'm now getting ready. Yeah, if you want to criticize my work, it's okay. You're not for me. Don't follow me. I look for a community that support me, right? So another thing is about community. To really survive in this very complex world, we need to have a right mindset, a right group of people with the right mindset, so that we can encourage one another and move forward. Yeah.
I love it. I think we will end on this tone because I have to switch studios again. Thank you so much for this enlightening conversation. We got
Yeah.
understanding more about how to deal with stress, how to start within, and how to start with ourselves, and how to build up from there, and having a supportive community that is helping. And if people have would like to reach out to you, where could they reach out to you, and for what is exactly the thing that you want people to come to you?
It's okay. I am always open for a conversation. You know, all my clients has got my handphone. If you were to just Google my name, Dr. Yeo Lee, all right, or you can go to LinkedIn. Yeah, you can get me. Or otherwise, I am in Good Therapy. So if you go to Good Therapy and then you search my name, my contact is there, my email, my phone number is there. Yeah, then we can have an
Thank you
initial
so
chat.
much. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing, and thank you for coming to the Global Empowerment Summit. It's not your first time. I'm so happy that you are with us and supporting the initiative, and have a beautiful day with your family.
thank you. Yeah, have a good day
Bye.
too.
See
Bye.
you.
See you.